Yay, we're live
Again,
over the
for the first time.
internets. Yeah, for the first time we're live, but we're recording also. We're doing everything.
The large leaps in technological, I just murdered the pronunciation of that word. The first thing I try and say in a live broadcast.
This
and
is
I
going
just
well.
Murdered it. No, your advancements in technology over a relatively short period of time are definitely nothing to scoff at. I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, I'm serious, man. I'm for real.
Clearly.
Anyway, welcome the nobody who's listening to this yet, because it just went live. Another installment of the I Know I'm Wrong podcast with John Brown, which is me, and my good friend Greg Lohman, back for round 2.
Thanks for having me back, John. Appreciate it.
Oh God. Yeah, I don't know if you should be thanking me. But happy to have you back. Happy to have you back all the time.
Thanks, man.
You could be on every episode for all I care.
You know, I usually don't have anything better going on Sunday nights, so be careful what you wish for.
Sunday. I don't either, so looks like we're going to be doing a lot of Sunday shows.
For a large chunk of my life, I always used to view Sunday as the worst day of the week because it was the sign of impending doom of returning back to work the next day. But if we can get this into Sunday, then maybe I can get like Sunday up at least to like a Tuesday or Wednesday kind of feeling, as opposed to just like a worse than Monday feeling.
Yeah, this is going to be like your Sunday rehab.
Yes.
Yes. Sunday's a good day. It's a 1 of 7. And it should be treated like every other one.
Absolutely.
And now we can have a lot of fun on Sundays.
That's right.
First off, we haven't talked about anything we're going to talk about yet, but the first thing I want to talk about is some local malarkey, you could say. For some people who don't live near me, we have in Keene, New Hampshire, every year what's called the Pumpkin Festival. And it's a big deal around here. I never really ever went, but I always supported whoever liked going. It's a nice little family event. It's a surprisingly high amount of pumpkins and people in a really small area that come every year.
The most.
Yes, we had the record. Like, I think Boston beat us eventually, and then they just gave up. So we won again. But we also have a college in town, Keene State College. And I don't know what happened this year. I don't know how this all got orchestrated at all. But there was a large number of Keene State College students who rioted and destroyed a lot of property, hurt some people. The cops had to get involved quite a bit. SWAT teams had to get involved. It was really weird. And especially for, little bumfuck Keene, New Hampshire, it doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, I kind of half caught what was going on as I was slipping through Facebook yesterday. And then when you sent me a link to an article that had to go into SWAT teams firing tear gas canisters into crowds in Keene, New Hampshire, I was just kind of thinking, this is different.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense for Keene, New Hampshire.
No.
And
no.
Luckily, it seems like the police did a pretty damn good job of corralling and keeping up with, which was thousands of kids. It wasn't like 100 or 50 rambunctious kids. This was like thousands. And they flipped cars and lit stuff on fire. I mean.
Yeah, so that was something I didn't quite get from the article, and I wanted to ask you about when we started recording today. From what I gathered, it said that there was a house party of 4,000 people that broke into a riot. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
How do you even fit 4,000 people into any house near Main Street in Keene?
Well,
that's the first question I have.
It was basically they were around the house.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't in the house. It was just like a mob scene around it, and basically over like pouring into the Blake Street area.
That what's almost more impressive than a house party of 4,000 people is the fact that, for context, 4,000 people in one place is about 1/6 of the entire population of that city.
Yeah, it's like, that's why it doesn't. I was really floored when I heard what was going on. I almost thought it was a joke when I first saw the first article on it, because it just doesn't make any sense. But I drove through Keene this morning. I live in Keene, but I drove through that area this morning about 10 o'clock. And I will say that there were a lot of Keene State college kids out cleaning up. And I actually helped clean up a little bit on Winchester Street, that area.
Right.
For about 5 minutes because it was cold. I'm not that good of a guy.
Right. And you probably didn't get caught along with everybody else. So you're just doing the Good Samaritan thing.
Right. It was like, I was actually legitimately, I just wanted to help out because it's my, I didn't have anything to do and it's my town after all.
Right. As opposed to the court ordered help that these kids were probably giving.
Correct. And because I see a lot of people on like Facebook who are Keene State alumni, and a lot of them they're saying things like, you can't say that Keene State college kids are bad because, not all the Keene State college kids are bad. And of course you can't say they're all bad, but you have to understand that people are really upset with what happened. And not every statement has to have a seething disclaimer of involving everybody and every innocent party. People can just say that Keene State college kids suck.
They can. Just for shits and giggles, after you made that comment,
yep,
I'm trying to pull up the number of students who actually go to Keene State College, and the enrollment numbers show that 1,262 students are, as of 2011, was the first year students present out of 6,887. So if you figure per year, not excluding dropouts, you have about 1,200.
Right.
So by math, assuming 4-year degrees, out of 4,800 people, 4,000 of them are shitty.
That's my whole thing. Where people are saying because I was thinking to myself, are there even 4,000 students? Because it's not a big college. And
no, it's not.
It's a small town, really. It's a sorry, Keene. It's a city, but come on. It's not a city.
If you go to Keene State College, you have a 5 out of 6 chance of being shitty, according to the stats.
People want to do the old mathematics.
Yeah, if we're gonna break it down by math, if you put 6 people in a row, 5 of them are shitty. Probably the 6th person is too. They're just hiding it.
Right. They just didn't get caught, or they fell asleep. Probably fell asleep. So with that whole statement of, well, we're not all bad, or Keene State College isn't all bad. No, it's not. But a staggeringly high amount of them were. So it's really okay. It's okay to say Keene State College can suck my dick. It's okay to say that because 4,000 of them sucked. Belligerently sucked. Burnt stuff.
Right. Right. And it's interesting, reading that story in contrast to when I was on with you 2 weeks back.
Right.
Of how when we were younger, we did some kind of crazy shit, and the whole incident with the apartment building and throwing beer bottles into a parking lot.
Yeah.
The important difference to remember here is that the intent was to not hurt any people. We were just a little too drunk to think to the next morning when they showed up to play bingo.
Right.
But
yeah,
just looking at that area, having not lived there for a couple of years, and looking at it now and seeing, for one, that 4,000 people even be in one place at one time in that city is impressive, outside of just parents and their kids at the Pumpkin Festival. And two, that they could riot to a point where they need to bring in tear gas and riot shields, which I didn't even know the city owned. Where did they find that stuff?
No, I know. I know, me too. I know they bought a military vehicle called the Bearcat. That yeah, I know. It's ridiculous, but
there's that one war obsessed police officer who's in the basement just stroking it, being like, soon we'll be able to drive over the college children.
Listen, we're gonna need it. When we need it and we don't have it, you're gonna come to me. And everybody's like, all right, fair, fuck, why not? Taxes are ridiculously high. I might as well put it towards something.
Yep. Saturday night dispatch call goes out. That one cop screams over the PA. Yes, I fucking told you so.
Exactly. Well, I hope that guy's happy. He probably was he was so happy last night. That guy.
unless it was his day off, and now he's just like Dr. Claw and is watching the news from his apartment, just being like, curses.
Just tightly gripping a glass, just so mad, like his knuckles are all white.
With his one metal hand. Yep.
Oh, I didn't even see that coming. He has a metal hand. He would have a metal hand too, that guy.
Of course he would. So what was the city's response to this? Like, what's the city planning on doing as a result of this?
I don't know. I saw some kind of statement from Keene State College themselves saying this was a real bummer. Like, they're like, we don't condone this. It's like, well, yeah, no shit.
The word bummer, is that verbatim? Was that in their press release?
No, it was really like a much higher class statement than that. But it was basically, this is a real bummer.
Gotcha. So the unfortunate series of events that unfolded on Saturday night.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And they're like, we do not condone this, just to be clear. Really? Oh, really?
They're going to get all the students in their student center for this one big sit down to discuss the event. And then the dean will come up and be like, I want you kids to know we're not mad. We're just disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. Like their fathers would say. But
and then what will happen is if anybody gets expelled, their parents will sue the school for unfair treatment. And maybe if they hadn't been so lax in their supervision of their students, this wouldn't have happened.
Right.
And everybody is going to point fingers at everyone else except the shitty people that did it.
Yeah. Well, you had cars around my kid. He's going to flip one.
Yeah, you can't just leave those in the middle of the road.
Yeah, what are you going to do? You have bottles, okay? Your city has bottles, which means you can fill it with something that would ignite, which means that he's going to blow something up. It's your fault.
So you let a 21-year-old who was clearly under the influence of alcohol walk into a gas station and buy a bottle of Mountain Dew and then proceed to let him walk out to the gas pumps afterwards.
Yeah, it's like it's a trap. If you think about it.
Yeah, okay, so now we've got this is the real story. Like, we need to call up the newspaper, the Keene Sentinel, and tell them, hey guys, we got this all figured out.
Yeah, if anybody's...
The entire city of Keene conspired to set up 4,000 Keene State College students.
Yeah, so like if they need any representation, they know where to find it.
You know what's fucked up too is if that college isn't there, that town will just evaporate into dust.
Oh God, yeah.
That's all of the service industry places in that city, and pretty much every store is run by somebody that lives at that college or is a student. Like the whole infrastructure of Keene, outside of a few outliers such as the company that you work at or a few of the other ones like CNS, is all based on supporting college students.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And it's barely even like you talk about the other companies. It's like barely. Really, that college is huge.
Yeah.
And like bringing anybody else to live into Keene only comes from that college.
When my girlfriend was out there a few years back, she got a different perspective of Keene than I did. Growing up there, I'm like, oh, this is like the best. It's like a small town. It's like really quaint.
Right.
And she realized that probably what they're trying to do is to keep you all in like the downtown Main Street area. And then when the students are like, so what's outside of downtown? The official's like, no, we don't go there. Just stay here.
Yes, exactly. It's literally like Silent Hill where the street just stops.
Yeah.
Like, we don't go there.
You and Brad were talking about that on the last show, which I actually listened to most of it earlier. Figured I would really blow your mind with that one.
Yep.
And as far as the college kids are concerned, like there's about a quarter-mile stretch of road that shoots out from that main street, and it's just fog. You can't pass it. There's nothing beyond there.
Yeah, and then every door is locked.
Every door is locked. Yep.
Yeah. And then there's notes on the floor or on the ground.
They even have a few fake buildings on Main Street. Like there's that hotel there where you actually can't go in. And if you did find a way in, you'll realize that the developers didn't finish texturing it yet.
Yeah. It would just be blocks. It would just be blocky polygons. So what you're saying?
Yeah, it's just white and gray with grid lines.
Yeah, and you know what else? There'd be fog inside all of a sudden, and there would just be like lines where polygons should be.
Yep. Like you get that real life glitch where you fall through the floor.
Yeah, and you do the falling motion like you're falling for as long as you sit there and watch him do it with no floor. That's the worst when you're just in a game and that just happens, and you go, well, now what? I didn't save.
So when all this shit went down, were you Were you there or were you
No, sir.
at home?
I was at home.
Okay.
I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not an exciting trip for me. No thanks.
No, I'm not a huge fan of the pumpkin festival as is. Like after every year of high school and several years after high school, all your friends come back to Keene for the pumpkin festival, and you ask them why they couldn't do it for Christmas or for Thanksgiving or for a more reasonable holiday like Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
And no, they want to see the pumpkin festival. So if you had gone this year, when people said, "Hey John, how's the pumpkin festival?" and you said, "Oh, it was great. I got fucking gassed." and then hit with batons and pushed around with riot shields.
Yeah, I fell into a broken beer bottle.
I can't wait to go back next year.
It was great. Yeah, exactly.
That's messed up.
But when it comes to Keene State College, let's fix it right now. I'm going to fix it right now. Okay, Keene Staters who aren't douches, which is like 16 of you at this point. We did the math already.
Yep, we already did the math.
I think it was like 10 minutes ago. So rewind if you need clarified. We can hug it out. We can give it, hug and kisses and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think the Pumpkin Fest is coming back. And,
oh, really? Think that's it?
Ooh, I would be really surprised. I'd be surprised. I mean, depends who picks up the bill. I mean, if...
Oh, the college has to. The college has to pick that bill up. There's no way.
Yeah, I would think. And I wonder what they would do if the city really fought to bring back the Pumpkin Fest.
Here's the whole thing though. It has to go that whole like catch-22 with like for one, the college is the main reason that city still exists.
Right.
The second part of it is that, to the best of my knowledge, after not being there for 8 years, I don't know if this has changed, but I'm pretty sure that is the singular only tourist event that Keene, New Hampshire has.
Oh,
and if it weren't for the Pumpkin Festival, there's actually no reason to be in that region of the state for the entirety of the year.
Hey, the Cheshire Fair kid, come on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that one really...
No, it's fine. You're right. It's just, you were right the first time. Hey, you want to go on a Ferris wheel for $38, kid? You only have to wait in line for 3 hours.
We were at the Minnesota State Fair with Brad and Brian when they came over this year.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a bit bigger than the Cheshire Fair is.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah, I think the day that we were there were probably 70 or 80,000 people present. It was massive. It was like a sea of people. It looked like if you took the general admission area of a concert and then just spread that out for a mile.
Right.
That's kind of what it looked like. As far as fair rides go, we got probably the worst screwing over I've ever seen with one of those carnival games, because we looked at it and said, all right, there's 4 of us. We're the only people that are anywhere near like this shoot the thing with water and fill them up balloons game. So we're like, we got this. If all 4 of us enter, we're gonna get a prize.
Right.
This shit is in the bag. So we all sit down, and right as the guy's about to start up, it's like they had these people in the crowd as like emergency players that like swarmed in. And there's this like 5-foot Asian ringer guy that just sits right next down to Rebecca and starts firing his water gun. And out of 8 targets, he hit 7 after Rebecca hit 8, and they stopped the game and gave him a prize. And I was like, you motherfucker.
Oh no.
We were had.
Yep. So, you're the rube.
Yeah, and that experience, that experience can be had at any fair in any state. So anybody who's looking for a good time and wants to really just burn some money,
absolutely, just go to any fair.
Yeah, it's Vegas but shittier.
Yo, much shittier.
Yeah,
and for some reason, people will just keep standing there and giving their dollar away.
It's weird because it's almost like you get to a point where you feel that if you're not spending your money, once it reaches a certain point, some people get the shakes.
Yeah, it's just gambling. A really shitty version of gambling.
I try and put away money so I can buy nice things for myself. And once I hit a certain point, my thought process with something becomes illogical. Like I started with I built a gaming PC and I had a decent monitor with it.
Right.
And then I got to a certain amount of money in savings and I'm like, why do I just have 1? I need 2.
Right.
So I got that. And then I made up an excuse that my neck hurt because I had a favor looking to the right or the left over each other. So I got a 3rd, so I could have 1 in the middle.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
And then I realized the 2 on the outside didn't match. So I had to replace both of those so they're all the same.
I can't condone that.
No, I mean, Rebecca loves it because now she's got 2 high-end monitors on her desk that she didn't have before.
Well, someone has to win, Greg. Someone has to win.
Someone has to win. So when you're broadcasting this, are people seeing your Skype picture, or what do they see? Like, do you have a webcam pointed at you?
No, I turned the webcam off.
Okay.
They're just seeing a screenshot of the podcast.
Okay. Because what the viewers or listeners can't see is this has been distracting me for the past 21 minutes here, is your Skype photo. And first I'm going to ask you where you took this.
Oh, that's just like off of Google Images.
Okay. Because if you look at it from like right to left, it looks like a penis wearing a top hat being pushed by a bigger penis while a more threatening penis is looming over the two of them.
Jesus Christ, Greg.
I'm sorry.
It's space. It's space. There's no dicks in space. There are no dicks in space. I'm pretty sure.
Well, the photographic evidence that is your Skype picture begs to differ, John.
That's a huge dick. You know how big that is? You know how big that is in real, like for reals?
Of galactic proportions?
Right. It's 75 by 55 light years.
Really?
Yep. That's a huge dick. It's a big dick.
All right, let's rope this back in. I shouldn't have said that.
No, that was perfect. That's all I wanted you to say. But yeah, it was so good I forgot what we were talking about.
Well, okay, we did the Keene State.
Yeah.
And how they need to pay for things, and then you didn't get gassed.
No, I didn't get gassed. Although I've never been tear gassed. I think I would do that in a very controlled setting. Like if they were like, okay, we're going to tear gas you, but we're not going to beat you with batons. And I only say that because the only reason to tear gas somebody for the most part is so you can beat them with batons easier.
Right. I mean, no self-respecting riot control officer is going to gas you and then just leave you.
Right. I know. I don't think they'd be able to stop themselves.
Because there's always the tasers. You can get tased.
Oh, yeah. I get tased. I would get tased.
Did you see they have a new taser weapon they're working on that's supposed to be, air quotes, safer than the taser?
No.
It scrambles the ocular fluid in your eyes and causes, air quotes, temporary blindness.
Fuck you.
No, I'm serious.
Oh, God. That sounds like the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. So, and of course, we found that tasers were perfectly safe after they started using those, right?
Oh, yeah. Don't tase me, bro.
Yeah, don't tase me, bro. So with this shit, like, what are we just gonna have like a bunch of angry cops blinding people now? Like, maybe we should be thankful that things turned out the way they did on Saturday night at the Pumpkin Festival, because you could have had, like, a year from now, it could have been 4,000 blind, pissed off kids now in Keene.
Exactly, with their ocular fluid
boiled
out of their goddamn heads,
just stumbling into cars and not even knowing what they're flipping, just flipping anything. Before it was just cars, but now they can't see. It's just there's no stopping them.
Yeah, that's
completely out of control.
That sounds like the worst thing ever. Your ocular fluid.
Yeah.
Don't touch my goddamn ocular fluid.
No, that shit's important.
That's one of the last things I want affected on my body.
Would be the first. Like,
just poking yourself in the eye is the worst thing that's ever happened.
Number one challenge that all contact wearers have is getting over the fear of sticking their finger in their eye. You sit down with a doctor when you're like 12 years old and he's like, all right, now just shove this right in your face.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Just do it. You fuck.
For you to say old people don't have feelings.
Your eyes barely work. You don't care about them.
It's like when you have a person with glasses telling me when I don't have them yet to shove something in my eye. It's like, well, how'd you get your glasses?
Yeah, why don't you have your contacts in? You fuck. You've seen so many things. You've seen so many things. I haven't seen nearly enough. I could end it right now.
God.
Then you can walk around like Solid Snake, or not like Solid Snake, like Big Boss.
Ooh, that would be pretty good.
Big eye patch.
And if I ever got blinded for any reason at all, I would definitely elect to go with the eye patch.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
it'd be original. I think you'd be like a hipster, and then all of a sudden hipsters would be walking around with eye patches, and they don't without even needing them.
Just a bunch of hipsters with their flannel shirts unicycling down Main Street with the eye patches.
Yeah, this like with we got to make something up for nice for hipsters with like flannel, skinny jeans, logging boots, and eye patches.
And an eye patch. So like Uniclops, unicyclists.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, the unicyclopsis.
We gotta figure out how to spell that.
I'm on it.
Unicyclopsis.
I guess unicyclops is probably enough, but
yeah,
it's not. Cyclist part.
Not that I know about unicyclopsis. It's not enough. It would have been enough before, but now I know all about that, so I can't unknow it.
That's God. What the hell? Now I can picture that in my head, and I know that somebody. Because the whole thing when you have this new podcast that you're just starting out and getting people involved in is that people can say, oh, it's this really cool show. You've probably never heard of it, which is like honey to hipsters as like Winnie the Pooh would be after some shit. He'd be like, oh my God, rare stuff. Nobody's seen it before. This is just something that I can get into being really arrogant about.
Yeah, exactly. So you're saying I can go around saying that I'm the first one to hear it?
So if I ever see somebody with an eye patch going on a unicycle down Main Street here, I'm just going to pull them over and be like, hey, so you heard the show, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
And then from there, it'll just spiral out of control.
Be like, hey, listen, man, keep it in your town. I'll keep it in mine. You know.
Right.
Well, you can say you made it up. We all know the truth.
Have you made it on any other dates since last week?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
No, I think I'm going to take a break. I'm still reeling from that one.
Some of my coworkers went over that, by the way. And anybody that hasn't caught, that was episode 8, I think.
It was. I'm a free spirit.
Everybody I work with thought that was probably the most horrible date story they've ever heard.
The most horrible / greatest.
Yeah, the most horrible date story that didn't involve chloroform in a van.
Yeah, it wasn't even creepy on my end.
No, it was
horrific, but it wasn't creepy on my end. It was absolutely horrific.
My friend John wanted me to let you know. His name was actually John as well. So he wanted to thank you for helping weed through the tough ones. So
yeah, if he ever thinks he sits down and goes, oh shit, I think I've seen this one before. Just let him he can shoot me a message. And I'll let him know exactly who she is so he can just walk away. Just never come back. Just never come back.
Yeah, that'll be the end of it.
Yeah.
So,
but one thing I wanted to talk to you about was something that happened in your life, Mr. Greg Lohman.
Oh God.
Mr. Greg Lohman got in a car accident, 10 days ago or so?
Yeah, something like that. I would say just shy of 2 weeks. So probably 10 or 11 days ago.
First of all, I'm glad you're all right.
Thank you.
Your voice sounds fantastic.
I know. I really worked on that.
Good.
Like when the car impacted the driver's side, the first thought that went through my head is, am I dying? And the second thought was, what's going to happen to my voice?
Yeah, I just started this podcast. I just started it.
I just can't lose my voice now.
Exactly. I can't lose it now. And then you screamed that and you went, oh, wait. I didn't lose it. Good.
Rolling around on the ground screaming, my beautiful voice. No.
It was just, everybody's very, very confused.
But yeah, no, so that happened not too long ago, and what a disaster that was. A little bit of backstory involving my driving record, and this will be hard to believe for a lot of people. In spite of all the horrible things I've done while driving, I've never actually been the cause of an accident. And I've never ran my vehicle into anything that could total it. Like I've never totaled the vehicle. Mm-hmm. My first car that I ever bought, I had for 3 weeks, and some random person just came flying into a gas station and totaled it while it was parked.
Jesus, I didn't know that.
Yep, that's what happened to my first Plymouth Laser, car that talked to you when you open the doors. And then if it wasn't working, it would constantly remind you the door was open, even though it wasn't. Wow. The second car accident that I had where a vehicle had significant damage, I was at Margarita's, and I was parked in the middle of the parking lot waiting for your brother to come back from picking something up at the cigarette store. And I see this truck's taillights light up and then the reverse lights. And it's about probably 10 feet away from the side of my car. Mm-hmm. So the truck starts backing up. When it gets to about 6 feet away, I realize that whoever's in that truck has no idea that there is a car parked there.
No.
Lay my hand on the horn, keep it there for no less than 20 seconds. And as I continue to hold on the horn and watch as the backup lights get closer and closer to my driver's side door, impact is made.
The slowest impact ever.
Your brother's in the passenger seat. I'm in the driver's seat. We both look at each other like, what the fuck just happened?
I picture your horn just getting tired. You're going, just like
people from the other side of the street over 100 feet away were looking over at this. They couldn't understand why somebody had their horn depressed for such a ridiculously long time.
Just two guys watching. Right? This guy's gonna smash in this guy's car. Look.
So the woman pulls her truck back forward, gets out of it. I get out of my car. I look at my front quarter panel. It's all just fucked. I look at that and then give her probably the most exasperated face I possibly have. And she says, "I'm so sorry. That's my fault." And I shout back, "Fucking obviously."
Yeah. No, we got that out of the way.
So that was what happened to the second car that got totaled that I was under the watch of.
Mm-hmm.
Third one was actually Rebecca's car. We were stopped at a stoplight. I see this, I think it was a little blue Tercel, some older, for lack of a better word, ratchet early 90s Toyota.
Oh, I like that.
It's barreling down the road towards us. And I'm looking at the rearview mirror. Rebecca doesn't know what's going on. And just you make that assessment of speed versus position.
Yep.
And been at the stoplight for probably like a minute now. It's not turning green anytime soon. And I just kind of sigh as the car rams into the back of ours, shoves us on the one in front. The woman was just checking her text messages while casually driving and not looking at the road. So that was the third one. The most recent one was the one that you're referring to.
Right.
It was about 6:45 in the morning. We're on our way to my office because sometimes we'll ride together, and I'll leave the car with Rebecca and she'll go to her work for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
We're going through the intersection, which is a very green light and has been this way for 30 or 40 seconds. And then my girlfriend screams as an F-150 decides to just plow itself right into the side of my vehicle.
Wow.
So we're panicking as hell. We get out of the vehicle. There's fluid pouring out of this woman's truck. I'm like, get out, blah, 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 blah. We were fortunate enough that one of the downtown Ambassador police officers witnessed the accident.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a really credible witness there. And this woman is just like panicking and bawling that she hit this car and that her truck is ruined. And I'm thinking to myself that you don't get to cry about your bad misfortune when you just ruin somebody else's stuff.
Yeah. Oh, the selfishness of people sometimes.
She told the police officer that she was checking her GPS, but I don't know the last time I've seen a GPS that doesn't tell you where you're going with words.
Yeah, either in some horrible mechanical voice or a British voice.
Yeah, and the probably the most ridiculous thing is just that the fact was like that light that she had that was red that she blew through was red for an incredibly long time, like 30, 40 seconds.
Right.
So naturally, I was a little bit late to work that day. And my coworker's like, "What happened to you?" I'm like, "I got hit by a truck." And they're like, "No, we all get a little bit late." I'm like, "No, I got actually hit by a truck. My car is totaled. We got to get this handled." So
it's the worst.
Yeah.
I got hit by an F-250 when I was in high school.
Oh, man, way to one-up me, you son of a bitch.
I know. Well, you said F-150, and now I have to. But I was in my 1992 Ford Escort sedan.
Oh, I remember that thing.
Yeah, the white one.
Yeah.
I think it was the best. And I'm going down this road, and there's a farm on each side. And this guy turns left, and he's ahead of me. He turns left like he's going into the left-hand driveway. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep going forward. He goes all the way into the left-hand side of the road, mind you. So I just keep going. And then all of a sudden I look over and his tire is right next to my head.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And he smashes into the side of my car, and my car flipped. It didn't flip, it like spun a good 4 to 6 times while I'm just going for a ride inside of it. And it stops. And I put it in park. and I'm still alive, which is good. And I'm like, well, I doubt my driver's side door is going to work now, seeing it's caved in. And it did. It still worked. I get out and I start walking towards the truck. And he gets out of the truck and I say, sir, are you okay? And he just goes, what did you do? I'm like, I don't think I did anything. Well, long story short, he gave me the wrong insurance information.
Of course.
And then he tried to claim on his insurance like damage to his truck. And like the only damage that could have been to his truck was missing rubber from his tire, because the side of my white car was black. Just where his tire just went all the way down the front, the other side of my car. And that car, I still drove it around for like a good 8 months.
I think Rebecca was probably in one of the most ridiculous insurance car situation accidents that I'd ever seen.
Oh, really?
A few years ago, she was going through an intersection and somebody that was in a left turn only lane decided to keep going straight and just like T-bone the side of her car as she was turning left from the other lane that was go straight or turn left.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that hit the car was driving his girlfriend's car that was unregistered, uninsured, and he didn't have a license.
Oh my God. So he doesn't exist, basically?
Pretty much.
A fucking ghost man hit her?
They somehow trying to put the blame of it back onto Rebecca, and it's like, no. That's not.
How could you?
Yeah. It's just
the fucking ghost hit you. It's your fault.
That's a trifecta, because I'm no stranger to refusing to register vehicles. In fact, when I lived in New Hampshire, it was almost like a sport to me.
Oh, me too. I go months. I
got a Ford Taurus that I referred to as the speed casket that had no electrical systems, no low beams, no taillights, no wipers.
Speed casket, I like that.
It was a mint green Ford Taurus from 1980 1981.
It's pistachio ice cream colored.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible. Much. Had one of those awesome bench seats. It was all ripped to hell because I bought it from a guy for $250. I pretty much put my plates on it and then refused to even bother trying to inspect it because I knew it was a effort in like just frustration to even try.
Oh yeah.
So I came up with these, I guess you could say, life hacks for cars to let my car appear to look like it was roadworthy. So when I was driving at night where you had to have taillights on, I would always keep my left foot feathering the brake to make it look like the lights were on.
You're in a bad way when you're doing that shit.
No, and I would rain-X the windshield as much as I could, and the idea was to keep a speed limit high enough that any rain that would hit the car with no wipers would just bounce off the windshield.
So basically, you took the idea of when your mother told you to come in from playing because it was raining outside. You said, "Well, if I just go fast enough on my bike,
exactly,
the rain can't touch me."
Exactly.
So you did this in your adult years.
Yeah. No.
I'm very proud of that. I did
that in my adult years, and I think it finally died pulling into my apartment. The engine just was like, "Bah!" and this pillar of smoke came out of the hood of my car. I'm like, well, that was worth $250.
I just remember your the black Civic.
Oh yeah. The Boonin Civic.
Yes. With like no oil in it ever.
I never changed the oil.
There was so many trips to the mall and listening to terrible music in that car.
With its one speaker.
Yeah, you introduced me to terrible music, really.
I know. When you and Brad are talking about music you guys used to listen to, I just started cackling to myself. I'm like, you fools.
Green Disc.
Yep, the Green Disc.
Fucking Green Disc.
It's still around in one of my boxes when I moved over here. We did recover it. But I don't know which box it's in. It may have finally gone to its grave, which, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, maybe it's better there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But I can probably remember most of the songs off it anyways. There were a few oddballs that would need to.
That damn Bumblebee song from Dance Dance Revolution was on it.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, dude. Always Dance Dance Revolution. That was a game. People used to play that.
I remember very well. It was in that movie.
Oh, man.
It was in a movie.
It was.
I can't remember what movie.
They should see now if they had made one of those movies like Just Dance and it was about playing DDR, I would have been way more into it. Like if we could remake The Wizard, that classic of film,
Yeah,
starring Fred Savage
with that fucking glove.
with that glove. Yep.
Was that a Nintendo thing?
It was so I guess the story behind the glove and the wizard was that I think it was Mattel pretty much paid them to make the movie, and the whole point of it was to be a gigantic ad to sell the Power Glove.
Oh, the Power Glove. That's right. Wow,
Yeah,
that's why that movie was made.
Yeah, the movie was made to sell the Power Glove.
Oh, come on. That's almost disappointing.
It's the 80s, man. If you remember like 80s cartoons, you might look back and be like, oh man, 80s cartoons were the best. And I had all the action figures and I had all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize that the whole point of any 80s show was to sell us shit that we made our parents buy us or we'd cry in the store.
G.I. Joe drinks Coke, Coca-Cola.
Yeah, G.I. Joe drinks Coke. And you can only get Ninja Turtles pizza from Pizza Hut because that's what they eat.
Yeah, I do. Oh, I remember that. I remember them doing that.
Well, why else, if you were a kid, would you have... Actually, maybe it was Domino's. It wasn't pizza, it was Domino's. Because the whole thing that I learned at 8 years old was that if Domino's didn't get there within 30 minutes, it was free.
Oh, I remember that too. Oh,
yeah.
Domino's fucking sucks.
Yeah, it is. It's really horrible.
It's like play pizza.
And we can cross them off our future sponsor list.
Yeah, I don't care. That's fine. Domino's can fucking blow me. How's that sound? Half hour, you got to blow me and give me the goddamn pizza.
See, if you want to get blown, you go to Little Caesars. They have the hot and ready.
Oh, Little Caesars.
Ah.
Oh shit. I don't even know if are they still around?
Yeah, they are. They're still here. They're trying to do a fast food thing where they have these like for $5 you buy a pizza that's allegedly hot and ready. And I've never seen these two things be accurate at the same time.
It's alleged. I like that. Yeah. Not again. Yeah. It says it on the ad. It says hot and ready with a little asterisk below, and it says allegedly.
I think it actually does have an asterisk that says hot and ready asterisk while supplies are available. Like something.
While we have heat, we'll supply the hot and the ready part. You know, subject to trial.
So yeah, something along those lines.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah. You guys brought back some memories. I was listening to last week's show. The Destroyer pizza, I totally forgot about that.
Me too. I totally forgot. I don't know why I remembered it. But yeah, I totally forgot about the Destroyer. My
heart remembered it. I got like this weird chest vibration after I thought of it. I'm like, oh my God. And 4 of us would eat one of these pizzas.
Oh yeah.
It was 6 square feet of pizza.
4 of us would eat one of those pizzas painfully.
Yeah.
It wasn't comfortable.
No, but it had to be done.
We
had to finish it.
When we were kids like that, we were like wolves. Where it was, it's like we can only eat 8 pounds of stuff, but we're gonna eat 12 because we don't know. We don't know when it's gonna happen again.
Well, no, that's what it is too. And I don't understand why I ever got that eating mentality of just eat as much as you can because there's never gonna be another meal.
Right, exactly.
And the thing with that's really challenging. That hurt me a lot when I got older. Is that diet actually maintains a pretty low weight point as long as you're poor.
Yes.
Once you can start affording food, you're like, oh man, I'm pretty hungry. I should eat. But your body still tells you need to eat that whole pizza because it expires after 20 minutes.
Right. The lie that's in your brain.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't win.
Yeah, and I remember when he brought up the Destroyer, I made me remember all the ramen noodles.
Oh, yeah.
And behind the case of ramen noodles, and you thinking that each one of them was going to be $3.
Hey, man, I was pinching pennies. When he told me that each one was going to be $3, I lost my shit.
It was a panic. I understand.
No, that was pretty serious.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, the good old days. He used to buy cigarettes instead of food.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, he reassured you very quickly. He was like, no, sir. It's not $3 a piece. And you're like, oh, thank God. Because there's like 36 of them here. That'd be a lot of money.
Yeah, considering I was never really a huge stoner, people probably assumed I was based on the things I said.
Yeah, we definitely ate. And we ate like them too.
Yeah.
Like it was like, why are you guys eating like this? It's like, because there's food here.
That's what you do. You eat. It makes you feel better.
And then you play Halo for 10 hours.
Then you played Halo for 10 hours. I'm going to actually use that segue real quick to jump into something I'm doing next weekend, if you don't mind.
All right.
Plug it. Next Saturday, which is the 25th through the 26th. Did I get that right? Or just do the dates?
Yeah, it is.
So Saturday the 25th, starting 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. until Sunday the 26th, 8 a.m. I will actually be doing a 24-hour marathon for the Extra Life charity to help raise money for Gillette Children's Hospitals here in Minnesota. There's a link on my Facebook page if anyone wants to check that out. Otherwise, if you go to extra-life.org/participant/ I want to say Greg Lohman, it could say Snoctopus.
One of those two. Please hold
on.
Please hold.
Yeah.
Your next available representative will be with you shortly. I should have whole
Greg
music.
Lohman. Okay, so extra-life.org/participant/Greg Lohman.
Okay.
And then you guys can help me raise money to help kids who have been in accidents or have cancer or other illnesses. All you guys have been pretty baller. I've already gotten up to $395 in donations in a day. So
what's your goal?
Aiming for 1,000.
No. In a day you got 300. You should get $1,000.
I should be able to. I mean, I'm gonna keep getting the word out. It was kind of funny how the whole thing went down, because I work for an IT company and we're supposed to be coming up with charities to help with. And somebody suggested a walkathon. I'm like, you're not
gonna
get a bunch of people in IT to walk.
I love kids and all, but I'm not fucking walking.
Yeah, no, it's like I already have to walk from my desk to the bathroom, and that's fucked up enough.
It's already too much.
Yeah, it's already too much.
Well,
so
hey, you do what you can the way you do it, Greg. Don't let anybody hold you down.
Well, at the end of the day, like, I thought about this too with like any sort of like walkathon or eat-a-thon or like couch-a-thon or whatever a-thons you have for any diseases. I think the whole part of you walking is just so you can tell people that you're doing a little bit more than just soliciting for donations.
Right.
Like, because at the end of the day, like, it's really no different than just saying, oh yeah, I'll spend $30 to the American Cancer Society, because I don't know if you're going to walk, and I'd show up at a walkathon on the motorcycle.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, can I just pay $20?
Right.
Do I have to walk? Can I lay down and donate?
Well, it's that ALS challenge that was happening over the summer, where you
Right.
could either pour a bucket of ice water in your head or donate $100.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, $100, be cold.
Yeah, I actually never got challenged.
You never got challenged?
Nope.
Oh man, I wasn't on Facebook when that whole thing was going down, so I might have slipped through the cracks.
I was, and I don't know how the hell I dodged that bullet.
I would have challenged the shit out of you.
You would have challenged me once a week.
I know.
I probably would have done it too.
And I would have kept like throwing another $100. There's another $100. Do it again.
This is the ALS challenge number 14. Thanks, Greg Lohman, for challenging me again. And just splash.
You just like rig the ice and water dispensers from your refrigerator right into a spot of your house.
What I would have done is I would have put hot water in a bucket, and I would have just had like plastic fake ice cubes. That's what I would.
Almost, depending on where you drop them from, that could almost be worse.
That's true. Yeah. But it could hurt a little bit, but it wouldn't be so cold.
So how about this? We can take your idea and let's run with it. And so they've already done the ALS ice bucket challenge, right?
Yeah.
So how about we have like the ingrown toenail hot bucket challenge, where you can either pay $100 to whatever facility does the most research preventing ingrown toenails,
right?
Or you can have a bucket of boiling water with plastic ice cubes poured on you.
Yeah, your choice.
Yeah, your choice.
You got 24 hours. You might as well. Why not just put the for the ingrown toenail foundation, whatever the fuck this is. I'll go with it. Sure. The lit burner on the stove challenge.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You either donate $1,000 or you burn your fucking hand. You have 24 minutes. You sons of bitches.
Yeah, you have 24 minutes to complete this challenge.
People are like, wait, what? I wonder how many people will put their hands on the stove.
Well, It's like back in the old days of ICQ, if you remember that old messenger or AIM, where people would start spamming each other that if you don't donate $1 or forward all of this to your friends, then it'll no longer be a paid service. And there were people that actually like think that was true. Like I remember some girl in high school being like, here's the $2 for the ICQ thing. Please don't make it expensive.
Oh, no.
I was like, are you serious?
You're giving to nothing, you fucking idiot.
Well, because what I did is I took the message and I changed it to be like, rather than do donations through mail, we've elected a regional representative for you, who is Greg Lohman. Please contact him via phone or ICQ to arrange payment. And a few people actually fell for it. And I was like, you gotta be shitting me.
Fucking idiots.
There's no way, but apparently there was.
It's like if there wasn't modern medicine, you'd be dead by now.
Right.
They definitely would have just been off already.
Well, even with modern medicine, I've been following the Ebola outbreak.
Oh, no. Oh, boy.
Yeah. So I used to be certain that the most dangerous disease on Earth was the dreaded space flu.
It still is in my book, but okay.
Yeah, it's still pretty bad. But I kind of laughed because how Brad was saying on the other show that some of his family members are a bunch of doomsday preppers. And I'm reading these things about Ebola, and on the best place to get information, Reddit.
Totally.
Yep, just on the Ebola subreddit, which I'm positive isn't full of like paranoid fearmongers.
No, I view Reddit, and well, to be fair, not just Reddit, most of the internet. I view most of the internet / Reddit as homeless people with homes. Like you would never listen to a homeless person scream at you, but for some reason on Reddit and YouTube comments we have to.
Well, of course, and everyone's a scientist and everyone's an expert.
Well, yeah,
that's why.
I took biology in 9th grade.
Well, no, that's why I go to that site, because it appears if I'm taking the internet at face value,
right?
Reddit is the largest congregation of experts in their field from around the world.
Yeah, it's a free service too,
and they're all doing this anonymously.
Of course.
Out of the goodness of their hearts.
Yeah, Corvette guy 63.
Yep,
knows all about Ebola.
Yep. Well, actually, the outreach spread ratio it's like, hold on, man.
Hold on, let me get my pen.
But the problem is I have this fear of disease.
Yeah.
So like when the swine flu was a thing at first, I'm like, I don't want to go outside. and now that people are talking about Ebola spreading, it's driving my girlfriend nuts because I made her go to Target with me to pick up like 14 gallons of bottled water and a whole bunch of dry food.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I couldn't help it. Well, here's the thing. I'm only partially scared of like the disease itself, because we know there's facts about the disease that prevent it from becoming like a flu. And I know that as far as evolution is concerned, the chances of this mutating into such a way that it's going to become airborne is just completely unlikely. It'll never happen.
Right.
However, when people that have been dealing with the blood and feces and vomit of the first person ever in this country to contract this disease are getting on airplanes and going on cruises, it makes me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, I can't really condone all that. Like, I don't understand why would you ever let that happen?
It doesn't make any sense. It's like you get pulled out of a crowd and somebody straps a bomb on you and they say, what do you want to do? And you're like, I feel compelled to run to a building full of lots of people.
Right.
Just for the sake of it.
Yeah, you're an innocent person with a bomb on you. What are you going to do?
My girlfriend just handed me a note on paper. She didn't want to interrupt the recording, but she just like, you wanted to buy things like green beans. The fuck?
Green beans. Who eats green beans?
But like, this is how
no one does.
I was getting. I was thinking to myself, I need to get food that's going to sustain me nutritionally when everybody else is dead from Ebola.
Yeah, I'll fucking die before I eat green beans.
Yeah.
I'll turn to a puddle of Ebola before I fucking eat green beans.
Yep. So it's been a challenging week for me.
I'm Greg Lohman, and I've had a hard week.
I have had a hard week.
So did you get a new car yet?
Rebecca did. She bought a 2012 Honda Civic.
Ooh.
So yeah, sticking with the Hondas. I'm trying to get my own car. A few years ago when I was younger, I made a bunch of really bad decisions. So I'm still trying to like get that aspect of my life built back up.
No.
I know. It's like, rent or PlayStation 2, PS2.
I know. I might have been involved with helping some of that downfall.
Yeah. Well,
apologize for that.
My old PlayStation 2 was broken. It didn't read discs anymore.
I'm sorry.
Critical.
Sorry, but not really sorry. Those were great times.
But I had to ask my parents to help me if they would help me like co-sign for a car loan, and they informed me that they'd love to help but couldn't because they're buying another house. And I was like, you assholes.
Rich people problems.
I know, first world problems. Can't help our kids have to pay for too many houses.
My parents won't co-sign for my car. Hashtag white people problems.
Right. So I'm probably gonna get one in a few more months. So I have to spend less time around a bowl of people.
Well, yeah, because that'll certainly cut down on the getting a car.
I've got a plan like for the front radiator grill where the air intake is for the vehicle. I'm just gonna get like a giant car gas mask. I'll just put that on there and
just push like a big HEPA filter in there, like a vacuum.
No, I'm gonna be walking through the grocery stores and people are gonna think I'm from outer fucking space.
Just a big NASA suit.
That was just a big NASA suit, because I'm positive, like just going from statistics here, you can definitely get Ebola in low level protective equipment, but a NASA suit can survive in space, which means that it's totally airtight.
Yeah.
So if I have to choose, I'm going with a NASA suit.
I'm definitely going NASA suit. I told one of my friends who was in Denver, and she actually, I guess they sent a plane that was in Texas to Denver. And she's like, we were just told. What the fuck? Like, why would they do that? And I said, I don't know. I don't understand why they don't just burn it. Just park it wherever it's parked and just burn it.
So what happened with that, and there's conflicting reports on this. Some people say that the woman was sick before she got on the first flight out, and other people say that she was only sick potentially on the returning flight.
Mm-hmm.
So on the second plane, we know that was used at least 5 other times, flying back and forth from places.
Oh, that's good.
On the first plane, that could have gone who the fuck knows where. So, yeah, I think it's gonna burn itself out one way or another. But
now I feel bad about Ebola.
No, you're pretty good. Although, unless somebody that was visiting the Keene State students was in Dallas the week before, and then sneezed into a tear gas canister that got shot into the Pumpkin Festival.
It's still, I don't know. You know what? Ebola doesn't want to fuck around up here. Me and you were totally safe.
That's true.
Ebola's not going to fuck around with our winter.
No.
Fuck that.
No, it's. I've been through too much to deal with one little bug getting me off.
Exactly. The shit that we get during the wintertime, fuck that. We'll be fine. Give me some chicken soup and I'll be tip top.
Yep, chicken soup, or mix some Oriental noodles with some beef noodles and just feel the invulnerability flow through your veins.
Yeah, it's like God mode. The old Doom.
Yep.
Where for some reason, his eyes would just close in Doom. Like that little head. You type in God mode and his eyes would close and it'd make him invincible.
And like you have like those idiots that are high on PCP carrying keyboards around that they've like stuck into their noses trying to give themselves cheat codes.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yep, it went there. It went there, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, where else is it? I see all this stuff in the media about like where are people getting their influences in life, and it's something where I'm just like, I have no idea. I can't keep blaming everything.
No, totally.
I bet you that in the next week, you're going to have at least one editorial in your local newspaper about how playing Grand Theft Auto caused those kids in Keene to riot.
Oh, God, we can only hope. I mean, it's a huge problem that nobody's talking about. Video games are causing all this violence, and I'm taking a stand right here.
I could almost expect like an Onion headline of somebody from the New Hampshire college being like, why'd you do it? Well, we had literally nothing else to do.
Well, it's like really boring up here. And yeah, I wanted to burn a car to see color because it's so gray outside.
I want to say that it has more of a problem to do with country kids than it does with inner city kids or video games. I think what you witnessed on Saturday was a bunch of people from like Nebraska or Idaho that were really into cow tipping.
Or Swansea.
We're really into
we
cow
can go a little
tipping.
closer than that. Yeah.
And suddenly they realize that they're in a college. It's a scary place. There's nobody they know there. And there's no cows to tip. So they just looked at cars and just went from there.
Yeah, I don't even think they saw the car.
No, I think that they were so horribly detoxing from their lack of cow tippage that all they saw was cows.
That's it. They just started flipping shit over and then riding it. Like I saw a picture of a kid just on top of the car. Like,
I'm going to go back through the photos of the event and see if everybody's wearing cowboy hats.
I'll tell you what, if they are, I think we're onto something here. Columbo shit going down right now.
Oh God, Columbo. So I tried to rewatch Columbo.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How did that reference work?
Well, because this didn't happen too long ago. And
it's like we're podcast soulmates.
There's a few things about Columbo that are really, really fascinating.
Go ahead.
So the first one is, regardless of the fact that I'm pretty sure Columbo takes place in Florida, but he's always wearing a trench coat.
Yeah.
The 24/7.
Trench coat must be fucking stink so bad.
It does, because if you watch any of the first season episodes, he also keeps his hard-boiled eggs in the pockets of his trench coat.
Ugh.
And he'll just like pull an egg, like a hard-boiled egg. No, these things I never noticed when I was like watching the show when I was 10. Like, he pulls an egg out of his coat pocket and just starts unraveling and eating it. And
nobody's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Everybody in this alternate reality that Columbo exists in smokes. 100% of them. Like, it's like batteries for them. If they don't smoke, they'll stop functioning. And in spite of being a mastermind detective and an investigative just genius, Columbo apparently can't get his wife to stop bossing him around at home.
Oh, I know.
As he's eating these eggs, and then somebody offers him some hot sauce. Like, no, wife tells me it's bad for me. And then lights up a cigarette and starts smoking it.
Yeah, basically just inhales it.
I stopped watching the show for the mysteries and started getting really into it to see just how fucking whacked Columbo actually is.
Just taking notes on all the shit that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, pretty much. In fact, I think I'm gonna just come up with my Halloween costume. I can get this together in 2 weeks. I'm gonna be fucking Columbo this year.
That'd be great. You got to get like a whole pocket full of hard-boiled eggs. Just a dozen of them. 18 pack of them. It's like, what the fuck is in your pockets?
What's the thing that all the other like cool kids do? They do like crossover costumes. So how about this steampunk Columbo?
Yeah. Like Michael Myers Columbo. Just Columbo with a fucking mask on. Just never talks, and you just shove hard-boiled eggs through the little hole in the mask. Like the worst smelling inside of a mask ever. Just some idiot with a sweaty head in a mask with hard-boiled egg breath. Nobody would like that person at all.
God. And then like he'll see the suspect like on the street corner, like, now I don't want to worry you, but I know you killed your wife. And I'm going to relentlessly pursue you until I can prove it.
Sir, I think you've given it away.
Maybe that's what they should do for the next Bad Boys movie. They should have the two bad boys and then Columbo join in with them, like a crossover.
Yeah. That'd be great. With Will Smith and Martin Short. Not Martin Short.
Martin Lawrence.
Now that'd be even a better movie.
Martin Short?
With Martin Short as Jiminy Glick. Just like, so I see that you're a murderer. And the guy's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And then there's the guy sitting next to him with cigarette hard-boiled egg breath. I don't want to worry you, but I think you've murdered your wife.
Man, why don't we have our own television show? It'd be the best.
We should just write a script. That's what we should do.
We should.
It'd be 22-minute long, where 18 minutes of them where they just eat a meal without talking. I think that'd be fantastic. I think that'd be the best.
Martin Lawrence with that really like angry scowl face he has whenever Will Smith did something that pisses him off in the movie.
Yeah.
Just staring at Columbo at the other end of his dining room table while he shoves hard-boiled eggs into his face.
With a cigarette in the other hand.
With a cigarette in the other hand.
And Jiminy Glick interviewing him for no reason at all.
Perfect.
Martin Short.
But who's
Fucking
this
idiot I am.
It's Don Draper. Oh, man.
Oh, no. We'd have the worst special guests on, too.
Oh, God. Who else could we get in there?
We'd
Then
be
Bob
like-
Ross is painting the whole thing.
Yeah, I'd have a musical guest. Like Nickelback. It would just make no sense. They're horrible music. They're like, we're going to...
Musical guest. Crazy Train.
O-Town.
O-Town.
Everybody's like, who? Exactly.
I embarrassingly saw them once.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They opened for Britney Spears. I'm sorry.
It got worse. How did it get worse? All right. You went to see Britney Spears?
I've seen Britney Spears multiple times.
When was this?
When I used to live in New Hampshire. I went with Matt Coleman.
Matty Ice?
Yeah, Matty Ice.
We have great Matty Ice stories.
Crazy Matt.
If there was anybody in this fucking world that if I ran into again, I'd have to apologize, it'd be Matty Ice.
Actually, I think you're okay with that. My parents ran into Matt Coleman not long ago.
Oh, really?
Yep. And I'm like, how's he doing? And they're like, he's Matt.
Oh, okay. I don't feel bad anymore.
Like,
yeah.
All right. Then.
No more guilt. It's all gone.
Yeah, no, we're good. I made some amends with him a few years back, but then like I was like, I really don't need to talk to him all the time.
I'm gonna walk away from this one.
Yeah, just kind of like do the Ned Flanders or like the Homer Simpson recedes into the hedge bush type of thing, like just gone.
I just remember him showing up to Johnny Goodrich's house while we were there playing Halo. And because we told him to bring a controller. And then we took the controller. We said, okay, you can leave now.
Yeah.
And he did. And he did. He just turned around and left.
Yeah.
And then that was the first of multiple times where the same exact thing happened.
No, that was like textbook what a type A personality does not look like.
And he was, yeah, exactly. And I remember at one point he literally said over the phone to you, but I can stay this time, right? And you said, yeah, of course. And then he showed up and we said, okay, you can leave now. And he's like, but we're like, leave now. And he's like, okay. And he just laughs.
I remember one time he said he wasn't going to come. He's like, no, because all you guys do is wait for me to show up and take my controller and kick me out. And then I think you and your brother drove over to his house to take him anyway.
Fucking assholes were. Oh my God.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I look back at my life. It's like, well, things aren't looking too good for me on the karma page.
No, sometimes, right. But there are times when bad things happen to me. And this happens a lot. Bad things will happen to me, and I kind of think back to one of those moments, and I go, oh, thank you. Thanks for evening it up a little bit. Like, it sucks that I had to go through this weird thing, but...
Yeah, but we're closer to zero.
Right, yeah. Thank you for depositing money into my bank account because there's negative money in it.
Yeah.
Just a few more bad things happen to me, I'm at zero. I'm good.
Yeah, then you can just go from there.
Yeah, that's why I went and helped clean up this morning.
Yeah, and that 5 minutes goes a long way. Somebody probably saw you doing it, which they probably thought that if you were using your usual like winter cap plus beard idea, they probably thought you were responsible for it.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, drove by, looked at you and like, these fucking assholes destroying this town.
That asshole looks like he's way too old to be in college, piece of shit. It's like, well, no, guilty. I'm just being nice. Oh.
Guilty by association.
Yeah, well, I live in Keene, so it means I must have done it.
Of course.
Duh. If I'm out there cleaning it, I must feel guilty about something.
based off the statistics, you had a 1 in 6 chance of being involved.
I'd never give my money to Keene State College.
No.
I did it once, and it wasn't technically to Keene State College. I took guitar lessons there at one point.
You took guitar lessons, or you gave guitar lessons there?
I took guitar lessons there. This is when I was much younger.
No, no kidding.
16 or 17, and I don't remember the guy's name, but he was a classical guitar player, and this guy wouldn't take any students unless they had a audition tape.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm at that point, like my music teacher told me that, and I'm like, really? Guy sounds like a fucking douche already. And he's like, no, he's really, really good. So I suggest you make a tape. So I did, and he accepted me as a student. So I show up, and I have this, like, I didn't have any money growing up. None of us really did.
Right.
And I had this piece of shit classical guitar, and with steel strings on it. And classical guitars are supposed to have nylon strings on them. And I still have that guitar, but it actually has nylons on it now, like it's supposed to. Anyway, I show up and it has steel strings on it, which it's not supposed to have. And they're super, super tight because it's not designed to have them.
Right.
And he goes, what is this? And I go, it's my guitar. And he's like, with steel strings, that's not correct. And I go, no, but I can play it. So he takes it and he goes, let me see if it's in tune. He takes it. He can't even play it because the strings are too tight. And he's like, this thing is unplayable. It's unplayable. You're going to damage this guitar. And I'm like, well, it's a guitar that was given to me because they were going to throw it away. So I really don't care that much. And I can play it. And he's like, okay, go ahead and play something for me. So I played it, and he's like, oh, that was good. Like, he was super disappointed that I could actually play this atrocity of a guitar. And after 3 weeks, I quit because he sent me home with this piece to play. And I asked him, I said, well, do you have like a CD or something of it? And he goes, why? I said, because I can't read music. And he goes, well, how are you going to play it? And I said, I'll listen to it. And he goes, well, if you think that'll help you, you can take the CD. It has it on it. Well, next week I came back and I played it for him. And he's like, that was totally incorrect. And I go, no, it wasn't. It was fine. He's like, no, you played in the wrong position. Your pinky finger was here when it was supposed to be here. Like, it was really stupid. And I ended up, I'm like, yeah, you know what? We just don't see eye to eye on this.
I ran into some stuff like that when I for years struggled with trying to learn how to play piano.
So hard.
It's really hard. I can play a few tunes from Metroid. And
what else is there? What else do you need?
No, yeah. So I can play like the Crade's Hideout theme, and I can play the first half of the opening for Michelle Branch's Everywhere, and that's about it.
You're speaking to my heart, man. I love Michelle Branch.
I do too. More than I should. Even I get picked on. Like, you're the one that remembers her. I'm like, you shut your mouth.
Shut the fuck up.
Although, one of the things that I found was really frustrating is I had found a way that works for me because I'm like from years of typing, I developed kind of a weird typing style where I only really use like 4 fingers on one hand and 3 fingers on the other.
Yep.
And it's quote unquote not ideal, but with my less than ideal hand position, I type at 80 words per minute. If I try and type with the correct hand positioning, it drops down to 50.
Yeah, well, I type like 170.
Oh, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah,
but
well,
I encountered the problem with trying to play the piano, which I'd found ways I would take more arm movement deliberately to not have to use certain fingers as much. And I went to a piano lesson, like, no, you have to use these fingers and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this doesn't work for me. This is way too frustrating.
Right.
And I just was like, it's hard when they were probably right, but to have to give up progress to start relearning something again is probably the most frustrating fucking feeling.
Oh yeah. To take, 2 steps back, to take 3 steps forward.
It's not like you have any problems with your musicianship as it is anyways. You obviously are doing fine.
Well, that's what I didn't like about it was I'm like, no, dude, I played it. And I actually played it the way that they played it. I can tell. And he's like, well, that's not the proper way to play it. I'm like, no, but I played it. What's it matter? And it wasn't proper. You know, it's like, well, I don't know what to tell you then. I guess I don't play proper. But does that really matter?
I would say no. I mean, if it sounds correct and if it's comfortable for you, my assessment would be like you should play however is the most comfortable for you to play something accurately.
Yeah. And the thing is, to me, like, if you're bringing it to an audience, the audience doesn't know that it's not properly played.
Right.
You know, as far as like, oh, this guy's atrocious. His ring finger was in the wrong position. Like, an audience doesn't know that. or give a fuck. You know,
you're like the Songus Arena in Lowell, and then the whole crowd all at once is just like, as they see your pinky slip off the bottom fret.
Boo! Just like just bottles throwing and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
That one guy in the background. What's with your fucking hand, man?
Yeah. Watch it. Watch the pinky, dude. Watch the pinky. And I had a story too. Oh, my first time ever on stage proved to me that the audience doesn't give a shit and doesn't know enough to give a shit. Because my first time I ever got on stage was in 2001, either 2000 or 2001. So I get on stage and I'm like, dying nervous. It's the first time I've ever been on a stage really for anything. And the first song we have to play is Enter Sandman by Metallica, which isn't a hard song, but at that point was a hard song. I've been playing guitar for like a year, probably.
Right.
And nobody knew that I knew how to play guitar yet either. And I'm on stage and I'm playing and it's going okay. It's going pretty good. 20 seconds in, I break the second string on my guitar. It just goes poing. And I'm like, oh no. So basically I just want to run off the stage. But you can't do that because there's a crowd.
Right.
And if you do that, the crowd definitely will notice that something is wrong because you won't be there anymore. So I just decided, well, I'm going to do my best on the fly with like really shaky hands because I'm almost throwing up nervous that I'm going to make it work. So I play through the set and it's horrible. Like, it's just terrible. I was like, I can play so much better than this, but not tonight. So I get off stage and I'm so mad and I'm so upset because like this is the first time I'm on stage. I'm in front of the whole school and fuck this. And I can't believe how like just my luck, and everybody starts coming up to me and goes, oh my God, that was amazing. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? For like the first 10 people, I'm like, no, it was fucking awful. What are you talking about? And then after that, I started going, wait a minute. Nobody even knew it.
Right.
And it was awful. Like, I know. I'm not an idiot. Like, I wasn't even being hard on myself. It's just literally, I had to do a 20-minute set on the fly, missing the most important string on your guitar. It couldn't have gone well. I had a great excuse to say this did not go well tonight. And it didn't. And nobody knew. And I'm just like, you got to be fucking shitting me. It was the biggest lesson I ever learned about live performance, which is as long as you stand up there and you do it, everybody's going to think it's great.
It's something that not even just with like performing, but just anything. Like if you're going to, like in sales, for example, even if you're going to be wrong about something, be really confident about being wrong. It'll still work.
I like that.
Yeah. It's when you're like, God damn it, that's how people learn things the wrong way. But it's true. Yeah, I never actually got the chance to see you. I was hoping that one of the times to go back there, you had done something with the Fritz Belgian fries a while back. Is that something you're gonna do again, or?
I can. I mean, if you decide to come back and you want to see me play, I'll book it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty badass to see, actually.
Not to say that I wouldn't take it seriously, but
just get on stage and be like, I'm too good for all you guys.
Oh my God.
I call this song my one string.
I'm just gonna play one note for 30 minutes in a row until all of you walk out. It's called creative. It's called art, Greg. It's called art. Okay, you can't judge my art.
Oh, so we have this framing place next to our house called Hang It.
Okay.
They are a art framing gallery, and they are also my arch nemesis.
Okay, please continue.
So
you got me hooked.
Yeah, so we moved into this apartment a few years back, and there's this framing gallery, and my brother paints things, and he sends them to us, and so we've got a bunch of his like just oil on canvas stuff that we want to get hung on the walls. So I'm like, oh, well, there's a framing place right next door. I would just run over there and see what they'll charge to frame a few pieces of art. So I don't even know how to like position this or how you get somebody to do this, because that's not my forte.
Right.
So I go over there and I ask the woman who's working there, I'm like, yeah, just how much does it get to have a painting frame? And she's like, what kind of painting? I'm like, I don't know. My brother did it, blah, 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 blah. She's like, yeah, that's probably not really high enough end for what we do here.
Oh, what a bitch.
Bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
And meanwhile, keep in mind, this is during an exhibit where they have pictures on the wall of people's cats. Like pictures of people's cats and paintings of people's cats. Or artist's interpretation of how their bedroom looks to a cat. Like, it is probably the worst picture I've ever seen in my life.
I didn't think you get any fucking worse than just a picture of some person's cat. This is what life looks to my cat.
Like, through the eyes of Mittens, an introspective look into my feline personality. Like, this is the type of shit they had on the walls.
This is what the inside of your cat looks like.
So, as I leave here just thinking, fuck you guys, I think that's the last that I'm going to have to interact with this place.
Right.
But no, once a month, all of the Hang It, quote unquote, crowd parks their Priuses and SUVs, depending on which end of the spectrum they are, and clog up every possible parking space on my street. And they have like this vet on wheels that shows up, like somebody converted a school bus into a roaming organic vet to go bus. And it's a huge pain in the ass. And I'm like, all right, we live in a city, just got to deal with it. But that wasn't even the final straw.
Oh no.
These motherfuckers will take a leaf blower and blow their entire parking lot onto my front yard.
Bunch of pricks. What a bunch of artistic pricks.
It's horrible. And then they'll be like, your trash can was a little bit in our parking spot, so we moved it for you.
Like, oh yeah, all of your leaves are on my life right now.
No. Yeah, we're still trying to figure out how to defeat him. Well, our neighbor who moved out downstairs had a great idea that I'm going to try and put into place this year. And he says, keep all the leaves when they blow them back and wait till the temperature drops to 20 below zero, which in this state, that happens almost all the time.
Right.
And he said, put them on their front walkway, pour a few buckets of water over them, and just walk away.
That'll fix everything. That's defeated.
KO.
You know what I was thinking about the other day when we were talking about video games is that we didn't get into how addicted we got to Quake 3 Arena.
Oh, God. That was almost every day. And I had like this laptop I was renting from Rent-A-Center, and you guys had 2 computers at that point.
Yep.
You had Caligula, the computer that ran games well outside of its allowed specification.
It ran Quake 3.
Yep.
It should have run DOS. That's what it should have run. It should have run fucking DOS prompt.
Yeah, that computer had no business with Quake 3, but
it played it very well.
Yeah. And then there was the other one that you guys had, and I had like this Rent-A-Center laptop, and we would play Quake almost all the time. And then something happened where I spilled water on. No, I spilled Coke on it. And then years later, when I moved back from Seattle, the LAN party started back up in my apartment again, and sure enough, Quake 3, motherfuckers.
They sure as fuck did. I remember
get flag.
I brought my my desktop over to your house. And those were the fucking best.
Oh, yeah, it's for that Extra Life thing next weekend, we're going to try and get that one in there for sure. That and some Counter-Strike.
24 hours of Quake 3 would be like, it feels like an hour.
Yeah.
It's such a fast game.
it just flies by.
Just railgunning the fuck out of everybody from seemingly impossible distances.
Yep. Nope. I played the shit out of that game.
Oh, it was so good. It was just if you've never played it out there, if you've played Halo, which everybody in the world's played Halo, or really Call of Duty too, similar. Quake 3 was that times 4.
Did you see for the new Unreal, it's going to be completely free, and they're doing a back to roots arena shooter?
No.
Like, yeah, it's like a back to the roots arena shooter. Like, no aim down sights, prestige.
Why the fuck did they have to do this to me? Now I have to spend time on this because I have to.
Yep, pretty much.
Jesus.
Because the developers of it, like, we really feel that gaming has gotten away from the roots of the first person shooter, and I'm just like, I start like frothing at the mouth, being like, "Give it to me!"
Like crack.
Give me my fix.
We couldn't stop.
Titanfall was a decent holdover. That feels a lot like some of the older ones. Like the whole running along walls thing reminded me of pretty much Quake 3. All you did is like jump through the levels anyway.
Right.
Because it had that glitch where if you like turned while jumping, you would gain speed infinitely.
A lot of speed too. It was a ridiculous amount of speed.
And then, was great.
And jumping at the same time just makes it almost impossible to kill anybody.
Yep.
But somehow we figured it out.
Pretty much. That's why I love Capture the Flag so much. I think there was only a few of us that could actually do that. So
God, yeah.
So we just like pretty much warp through the levels to grab the flags.
It would be like an hour and 12 minutes in. Yep. One person would capture it finally.
That's good shit.
Because we just destroy each other.
Yeah, it would go on for hours and hours. We should, you and I should get some gaming in at some point pretty soon here. It's been a while.
I know. This whole like full-time job and that kind of stuff.
It's hard.
It gets in the way, man.
Especially when you've got your arm wrestling.
Yep. That's true.
But you can always you can always be like, "Hey ladies, these are the second and third best arms in the United States of America."
That'd be really nice. That'd be really nice. I actually have a tournament coming up in 6 days.
Oh shit.
I'm competing in Atlantic City at the Trump Taj Mahal.
Really?
Baller ass shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do like Atlantic City when you're there, right? I'm assuming you've been there before, right?
I've been there before, yeah.
Yeah, just do the Atlantic City part after the tournament part.
Oh yeah. I think we're probably gonna end up like driving back right after the tournament.
The first time, or actually at this point, the only time I've been out to Las Vegas was for the Evo Street Fighter Championships.
Mm-hmm.
And Brad and I we had to sit down and be really honest with ourselves before we went out in order to make sure this was going to be as enjoyable as possible. And we pretty much sat down. It's like, look, man, we're never going to fucking win. So we're going to land here. And instead of like cooping ourselves up in the hotel rooms and playing Street Fighter with all the pros, we're going to occasionally run into them. And we are going to treat Las Vegas like it's Las Vegas.
Yes.
And the first thing that happens, we get in the hotel. Brian Cole's like, "Here's your cigarettes. Here is your 3-foot canister of booze."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they have these slush puppy machines that have alcoholic slush puppies, and they sell them in a 3-foot like yard, like a plastic yard with a huge ass straw and a sling for your arm. Like, go nuts.
Jesus Christ.
You're in Las Vegas. Yeah, there are no like, there's no bartender that looks at somebody and is like, "You've had too much. I'm cutting you off." Like, they probably have like they put notches onto their bars for every person they killed by over serving.
Yeah, they have like a $25 bet on each.
But it was funny because I actually made it much further than I intended to, because I was so sick the first morning I woke up after my first night in Vegas.
Oh,
like
no.
We did the whole rooftop partying thing in the VIP lounge. Like, we went nuts.
Yeah.
I got an hour and a half of sleep. My body is shaking. It feels like there's an earthquake because of like how off my sense of balance is.
Right.
I played better than I ever had because each match I got into, I'm like, I need to put this motherfucker away so I can go throw up.
Oh man. Well, hey, strategy.
No, I sent a few people home. It was pretty good.
Oh my God. I've been to Vegas once. I've been to Reno once. And I have a good gambling story from Vegas, or not from Vegas, from Reno. I'm with my teammate Ron Klemba and his girlfriend, and we're gambling. And his girlfriend says, I'm going to use this much money and I'm going to gamble with it. And if it's up, we're up. And if we lose it, no more money. Okay. So I'm following them around while they're gambling away the money, and just slowly, like, they'd win a little bit and then lose more, and then win a little bit and lose more until there was nothing left. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take this $5 bill I have and I'm going to gamble with it. And if I win, then I'm just going to walk away. $5. Now, the backstory on this is that I fly out to Reno and I go to check into my hotel room, and I have my debit card on me, and that's it. And I have cash. And I go to check in and I use my debit card, and they say it was declined. And I'm like, what? They said, we can try again. I said, yeah, please try again. They tried again, decline. And I'm like, how is it declined? So I call up my bank, and they said, yeah, somebody tried to hack your debit card. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you can turn it back on. So you guys turn it off. They said, well, no, they got the money, so we're working to get it back. So if you just go into a local office, you can, we can work through that right now. And I'm like, I'm 2,500 miles away. There is no local office. And they were like, oh, well, then you're going to have to wait till you get back. So I'm across the country now with almost no money because I had to pay for my hotel with cash. So I take my $5, which I think I had 7 on me at that point, and I said, I'm going to gamble this, and whatever happens, happens. I put it in this machine, and I won like $150.
Holy shit.
The first gamble, first one, hit the button, bang, $150. And I'm like, that's it. I'm walking away.
Yeah.
And Ron's like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, what do you mean what's wrong with me? I'm fucking broke. Breakfast is on me tomorrow. Like, I have $150 now.
Yeah, you just got a 30-fold return on your investment.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. So we go back. I go back to my room. They go back to their room. We get up the next morning. And it was like basically a travel day. I think both of our flights left in the afternoon, so we were going to do like sightseeing. Lake Tahoe's out by there, like 2 hours away. And I've been there twice, and Lake Tahoe is like the best place ever. It's like, obviously Lake Tahoe is there, but it's like a really beautiful area. And the area is like Cape Cod is here, where there's no chain restaurants, no chain anything. It's all local business.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a really cool area to visit. So we went around all day, and then we get back, and I go to buy lunch, and Ron's like, oh, he's like, you going to pay for lunch? I go, yeah. He goes, okay. He's like, I was wondering if you came back down here and just lost all the money after you left. I'm like, oh, no. No, I'm not. I said, I'm a little too broke for that. I can buy lunch, but I don't have anything left. So I think we ended up going home, and I ended up straightening it out. But man, it's like, could you have called me before I left the state? There's no TD banks out in Nevada.
That's the only concern I have with my bank when I travel, is because they're so small that if they ever lock my card up and require me to be in person in New Hampshire, I'm like, well, I'm fucked.
Right, exactly. And I'm like, we just step into an office. I'm like, yeah. How the fuck would I do that? You gonna pay for the ticket?
Yeah. I had an incident with my card not too long ago where it got flagged as like potentially stolen, and I'm like, what the hell? So I called the bank up. I'm like, why is my card flagged as stolen? It's like, well, it's just been an abnormal amount of purchases from your computer this week for online equipment or whatever. I'm like, all right. What specifically? Like Steam Bellevue? I'm like, oh, it's the Steam sale. I'm like, it's gonna be like 100 more by the time those are done, guys. So just
yeah, when they do their like $1.39 sale.
Yeah, it's like debit card. It's like a debit card firestorm. Just like my bank account just explodes into fire and starts raining down to the earth.
It's like an anthill.
Yeah, it's
just a bunch of little tiny purchases that just take the whole thing away.
Yeah, and then sure enough, it's all gone. And
then they flag it. And the thing is too, like, what, like, why did I have to find out by trying to use it? Like, you couldn't have called me.
Well, there's that, and then you wonder why it doesn't do trigger for other things. Like, I had one incident where I flew back east and I spent probably $2,000. And then I came back home and I used a gas station that was 5 miles away from the usual one they use, and they halted the card. They're like, do you know that your card's being used at a gas station outside where you normally go? I'm like, did you notice it got used for 2 weeks in a state that I don't live in?
I used it for 2 weeks, thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
You fucks.
But they wanted to make sure that like $20 gas transaction was counted for. Like, well, we saw that one, so we're trying. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, could you just stop trying?
Yeah, please.
I don't need this kind of help.
Yeah, go try on somebody else's card, thanks.
Sir, did you know that there was $21.87 taken from 10 miles away from you? Yeah, it was me.
I should just do the John Brown thing and buy all my stuff with Looney Tunes checks.
Oh man. I bought a whole car with one.
I know.
I went to a dealership and I bought a whole car with a Looney Tunes check. If this doesn't make you realize how little respect I have for money, I bought a whole car just because the guy said, well, this has never happened before. And I said, well, we can make it happen today.
I want to find a bank that lets you print off your own checks and just have like my face grinning through the whole thing.
Just different, like have 4 different faces in each corner.
Yes.
With different emotions. Now that would be phenomenal.
But on that note, I unfortunately probably should bounce out for the night. I got some more stuff I gotta do, sadly.
All right then.
I know.
It was only an hour and a half.
It was. It's so my work needs me to do some preparing for the Extra Life event for next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I kept telling myself, oh, I'll get the backgrounds and everything done this weekend. And I'm finding as I look at the clock on my computer screen that this weekend is really close to not being a thing anymore.
Yes, that's very true. We're closing in on the final hours of weekend.
Yeah. And then tomorrow I'll come in and people ask me a whole bunch of questions. And what I like to do is just act really surprised when people ask me something I'm not prepared to answer.
It sounds like a good idea.
It is. It usually is. They'll be like, hey, did you hear this thing? I'm like, what? Like, just do that. And if you can sell it, you're in the clear.
You're golden. That sounds like a great idea.
No, yeah. The being surprised will get you out of most situations.
But I didn't even, oh my God.
Yep.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
But thank you for having me on again. I definitely appreciated it.
Oh, no problem, Greg. You're going to be on again. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. Take that, listeners.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the last of me yet.
And hopefully we can get Greg, or hopefully we can get Greg. You are Greg. Hopefully we can get Brad on here at the same time.
I agree. But it's been a blast, John.
All right, man. Say goodbye.
Bye.